In early 2004, a pop-up popped up on my computer screen, and it told me that I just won $1,000 and that I should call this phone number within 3 minutes to claim my prize. Well, there was no prize. That was a come-on. I ended up paying $300 for 10 days in Florida, which is not a bad deal. Airfare not included, of course. Now, in our last episode, we were in Orlando and we had gone to Epcot Center, which was a great time after having been showed a deal to buy into a timeshare, which was outrageously expensive, and the people were pushy and didn't listen to what I wanted. So we ended up telling him, no deal, we're not buying. We're on our way up to Daytona Beach now to take in a couple days over there. So we're going to hit the road for Daytona Beach. Now, we didn't know where to go to in Daytona Beach because they just gave us an address and that was it. No map, no nothing. And when we finally showed up there, we found out we were in the wrong place because the people in Orlando were such jerks just because we didn't buy their timeshare that they sent us to the wrong place. And the wrong place ended up sending us to the right place, and then we checked into a really nice little resort. Now, we all really liked Daytona Beach a lot. It was beautiful. It was scenic. It's the kind of place I would go to again. Definitely. Without a doubt. I'm planning on it one of these years. But we had to attend a meeting. We had to go to a sales meeting, and they put us all together in this cafeteria-like place in these plastic tables, and we didn't know what to think. We just were saying to each other, just say no, just say no, just say no. So then they opened up this door, and they put us into a theater where they showed pictures of people having, actually movies of people having a great time in the sun and in the water and splashing around and just having the time of their lives. And that appealed to us so much that it was the way we wanted to spend the rest of our vacations for the rest of our lives. So then we ended up getting a tour of their resort, which was nice and clean and well maintained and nice, and just lovely. Then they talked to us and asked us what kind of vacations we usually take. And I just said, well, I throw a tent in the trunk of my car, and that's the end of that. I go wherever I go and have a great time. My parents, well, they always spent their time at the cabin in the woods, but this was a chance to do something different for a change. So anyway, Mom kept saying no, 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 and I was saying yes, 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 and Dad was going into it with me, but she talked him out of it, but they couldn't talk me out of it. I ended up buying a little timeshare, 1 week every 2 years in Florida. And I can trade it for any other week of the year and any other place I want. We just ended up coming back from Key West. So the corks got popped and the champagne was flowing and we had a great time. And then we went on to the casino cruise the night after that, and my mother got sick. So we got back on the road and we were on our way down to Fort Lauderdale where we would spend a night. The following morning was a little bit of confusion because our bus came late, but we ended up getting on the cruise anyway. The cruise was about 4 hours long to go to Freeport in the Bahamas, and you know, that 4 hours was about 3 hours too long. Even though the cruise ship is a nice place, I don't feel like I enjoy being on one. But I did get a few good pictures from that ride anyway. Now, when we got to Freeport, oh no, that's the wrong picture. That's not Freeport. That's the Rocher Percé in Gaspé. Let's try this again. We found Freeport to be pretty plain and nothing special. The resorts themselves looked really nice, but there was everything else was pretty plain. The street scenes were nothing special. A lot of things were cheap and very simple, and you know, it's not unusual to find a resort like this one and have a garbage dump right next to it. We didn't feel too inclined towards it. So yeah, we had to go on another timeshare tour, and these guys, they showed us a nice place, beautiful resort, wonderful. But I told them, look, I'd already bought a timeshare. I don't want to buy one today. And the guy says, oh, but we can make a better deal for you, man. But I kept saying, no, look, would I buy a brand new Chevrolet, drive across town and trade it in for a Ford? Silly. Why buy a new car with the intention to trade it in? So I had to decline. I didn't buy anything in Freeport or the Bahamas. It just wasn't a good idea. But we did go on a bus tour, and it was quite interesting and actually entertaining. And we did stop at some really nice places, but the places in between while the bus was taking us there were, like I said, you had a garbage dump right next to a resort. So we had this one place on the beach which was really special, and it was quite nice. A beautiful clear water, nice sandy beach, and they had that cantina there where you could get food and drinks, and that part was really lovely. The only problem with bus tours is that they're all too short and they're over too soon. We would have wanted to stay at that particular place a lot longer, but of course it was time to move on and get everybody back on the bus and go back towards the next stop, which was nothing special. It was just a liquor store to sample some rum. There were a few nice cars on the road, like this red Ferrari here, and the rest of them were just plain cars, just like everyone else's. This here is a church right next to the funeral home, so pray for the dead. We had to get on the ship pretty soon so that we could get back to Fort Lauderdale and then fly home the next day. All three of us were pretty bagged at this point, and that's pretty well the end of it. But the main thing is we have some really good memories, and the other main thing is that we had a good sampling of what kind of vacations there are out there and how much they cost.